Welcome to LearnHowToQuilt.com. In today's video, you'll learn how to make an easy zigzag quilt. This is the first tutorial in our Same Quilt Different Techniques series, which focuses on quick cutting and sewing techniques for rectangles and half square and quarter square triangles. Hope you decide to stay tuned. You can download these free handouts by using the links below, or you can go to LearnHowToQuilt.com, click on Free Patterns, and then Quick Quilts. Scroll down to the Zig Zag Quilt. You'll need 2 fabrics for this quilt, 3/4 yard of a dark and 1 3/8 yard of a light. Solids or small prints work best. You'll want to avoid stripes and other directional prints. If you just have to have a large-scale print or some sort of directional fabric, try using these for the backing, which takes about 1 1/2 yards. You'll also need batting and binding. Before you get started cutting, you might want to review this cutting layout. Make sure your fabric's been pressed. Then fold your fabric from selvage to selvage, and then fold the selvages to the fold. Line up your fabric on the lines on your rotary mat. Next, you'll want to trim off this edge. Line up your ruler along the vertical line on the mat. I also like to line up these horizontal lines just to make sure that everything's straight, sort of a double check, and then cut away from your body. Measure over 3 1/2 inches, so that's 1, 2, 3 1/2. Once you've got everything lined up the way you like it, then cut. You can use this handout to check on the accuracy of your cutting. Take your strip and place it between these 2 dashed lines. Your strip should come right up to the edge of those 2 lines. Cut 5 more of these 3 1/2 strips from this dark, and then cut 6 of these strips out of the background fabric. You also need to cut a 2 3/8 inch strip for this side here. Now, you're going to need it to be a little bit longer than the 45 inch strip, so cut another 2 3/8 inch strip about 5 inches long. Since these blocks are set on point, you'll need to cut triangles for the corners and the sides. Whenever possible, you want the straight of grain or cross grain to be on the outside edges of your quilt. So for these corner triangles, you'll have the straight of grain and the cross grain on 2 sides. For these side triangles, you'll have the straight of grain or cross grain on just 1 side. A quick way to cut these triangles is to start off with squares. For the corner triangles, you'll want to cut a square on 1 diagonal and you'll get 2 triangles. Each of them will have the straight of grain in the corners. For the side triangles, you'll also start off with a square, but you'll cut it on both of the diagonals, and you'll end up with 4 triangles, each with the straight of grain or cross grain on the outside edges. I'm going to start with this 9 1/2 inch square that will eventually end up as 2 triangles in these corners. So I need to cut a square on the straight of grain and the cross grain. So here's my selvage. I want to make sure that I don't cut into that selvage. So I'm going to cut this piece a little bit bigger than what I need, making sure that the straight of grain and the cross grain are lined up along the edges. So let me turn this around here. I've lined up those cut edges with my ruler, and then I'll trim the excess. Line up your ruler from corner to corner and cut. And here's the 2 corner triangles for the bottom of the quilt. The next square that I'll cut is 5 1/4 inches for these 2 corner square triangles. So I've lined everything up on the straight of grain and cross grain. I'll turn this around, and I've got 2 sides cut. I'll line those up here. Take my ruler, and I'll measure 5 1/4 inches down and 5 1/4 inches over. When I get everything lined up, I'll cut. So I'll line up this ruler on that diagonal. And here's my 2 corner square triangles for the top of the quilt. You'll cut 4 squares on the straight grain and cross grain at 9 3/4 inches for these side triangles. After you cut each square, you want to cut them on both of the diagonals, so you end up with 4 triangles. Each one has a straight of grain or cross grain on the edges here. For more information about setting triangles, check out our encyclopedia entry. I'll leave the link below. Now I'm ready to sew these 2 strips together. I'll be using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Normally I'd be using a neutral color thread, but to make it easier for you to see, I've got dark thread in here. So I start off with a leader or a scrap of fabric, and then I'll feed this right up to that fabric. I'm using a 1/4 inch foot, but it's okay to use a larger foot. These 1/4 inch feet make it much easier to sew that seam. So right here's my 1/4 inch line, and I want the fabric to go right up against that. Also, I'm not using any pins. If you don't feel comfortable with that, it's okay to pin, but I find it easiest not to pin. So I'll continue sewing till I get to the end. After sewing, you want to make sure that you press your seams towards the dark. Then you can use this handout to double check to see if your 1/4 inch seam is accurate. So the edges of your block should end up on these dotted or dashed lines. Take your strip set and line it up with the lines on your cutting mat. You want to trim off these edges. Go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 will be inside this block. And when everything looks good, I'll cut. And here's my 6.5 inch block. You'll get 6 of these out of each strip set. But before I go any further, I'm going to double check to make sure that this block is cut correctly. I can see that everything lines up. For this quilt, you'll need to cut 35 of these blocks. You'll be sewing in diagonal rows, so you'll want to lay out your quilt on the diagonal. It's best to keep the handout nearby so you can refer to it, as sometimes this layout can be confusing. I find it easiest to start by making this sideways L using 2 blocks, and then I continue adding these to the row. To get started, you want to put right sides together. The side that's to be sewn, you either pin that or hold it in your hand, and then place this side next to your needle to remind you that this is the side to be sewn. You want to line up these edges, and as I said earlier, you can pin this if you want, but I prefer to use no pin. So you want this side, the bottom, all 4 sides lined up, and sew that 1/4 inch. After stitching, you want to check to make sure that you've sewn that L together. Then take this over to the ironing board and press towards the dark. After completing this section, I felt confident enough to pick up the rest of the sets of my blocks, and then I sewed the pairs together, pressed to the dark, and returned them to the design wall. Starting in the center diagonal, I put right sides together. Holding the side to be sewn in my hand, I placed that next to my needle, and then stitched a 1/4 inch seam. Press the seam to the light and then return to the design wall. Take the next section in this row and put right sides together. Stitch, press, and return to the wall. Pick up the last block in the row, put right sides together, stitch, press, and return. Here's the finished row. Continue on and complete each diagonal row in this manner. To avoid confusion, I like to add triangles after the squares have been sewn into rows. I'll start with the smallest triangles in the top corners. Take the triangle, fold it in half, then crease that halfway mark. Line that mark up with the seam line, and then put right sides together. Notice you'll end up with little ears on either side. You'll do the same technique for this triangle, but you'll need to fold this in half and crease to find the midpoint. Put right sides together and match those center points. Sew that 1/4 inch seam, press towards the triangle, and return to the board. Lay out the side triangles. I'll start sewing in the top right-hand corner. Put right sides together, line up these edges, and stitch. After stitching, you'll end up with some little ears on the end. You can just trim those off. And then you want to press towards the rectangle. So this seam will be pressed in that direction. Return to the layout and work on the next row. Put right sides together, sew, and then press towards the rectangles. Sew the rest of these side triangles to each row. In some of the rows, you'll encounter a seam in the middle. In this case, you'll want to press towards the triangle. If there's no seam, you press towards the rectangle. Before adding the last 2 triangles, you'll want to sew all the rows together. Start with 2 rows on the end and put right sides together. This will look a little weird as there's extra here on both ends. I find it easiest to start by matching seams. So let me pull this back, and I want this seam and this seam to line up. Seams have been pressed so that there's a hill on this side and a valley here, a hill on this side and a valley there. If I match these up together, I can feel where they lock right there, and I'll pin. Then I'll pin down the end here, and notice you'll have some little ears that you can clip off after sewing. Then I come over to this seam, I match those intersections, and pin. Bring this all the way over to the end and pin. After sewing, press. I press the seams down, but at this point, pressing can be in any direction. Continue to add the rest of the rows in this manner. To add the last 2 triangles, find the midpoint and then match to the center seam. Pin and then stitch. Press this seam towards the triangle. Take your long strip and then add the little section at the end using a 1/4 inch seam and then press. Use this to measure through the center of your quilt. Trim off the excess. Put right sides together and then stitch. Press towards the strip. And here's the completed top. Cut your batting and backing a little larger than the top, and then pin the layers together. Machine quilt this, I found it easiest just to stitch in the ditch around each zigzag. After all the excess was trimmed away, I added binding, and here's my completed quilt. In the next video in this series, you'll learn another way to make this quilt when using scraps or sewing by hand. I'll leave a link to this below. Thanks for visiting LearnHowToQuilt.com. Please share our videos with your friends.